So, first up this week, we have Seaside Bellona. Bellona came to provide Rengar Public Security Club with any help they needed to assist visitors from Rengar. Although she says she's here to watch over Sez, it seems her true goal is to relax in the resort. I don't know why this is a black box. I've already tried refreshing this to see if it would go away, and it's still a black box. So, we have Seaside Bellona. I have already looked at her skills before, although I forgot what they were. So let's look at these again. So, skill 1, attacks the enemy with a fan with a up to 75% chance to target the enemy for 2 turns. Okay. Second skill is a passive, shares 30% of damage suffered by the caster with the foremost ally. When more than one damage sharing effect is granted, only the strongest effect is applied. Caster gains 1 focus when an ally is attacked. When an ally is attacked and the caster's focus is at 5, lose all focus and activates You're Not Cute, which attacks all enemies with a fan with a chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. 50%. Which is interesting. And skill 3, attacks all enemies with a spray of water with a up to 100% chance to make them unable to be buffed and unhealable for 2 turns. Damage dealt increases with a critical hit, which kind of is thrown in there randomly. None of the rest of the kit has anything to do with crits. I'm not entirely sure how good she's going to be. I imagine for Wyvern she's going to be pretty decent. Because like the Wyvern 11 in particular, where he attacks 3 times, that'll stack up her skill 2 real quick. So she'll be constantly getting these off. Plus she has a target. And she can apply some extra debuffs here. She could be decent. So, artifact. I guess this comes with Seaside Bellona. Ranger exclusive artifact that causes additional damage when attacking all enemies. So what does it say here? When attacking all enemies, has up to 100% chance to inflict additional damage. Additional damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's attack. It's a Ranger exclusive. So I could see that being good for both Bellonas. If you so desired to run it. I think on regular Bellona I'd still run something like Rosa Hargana, but you know, whatever. So, meet Seaside Bellona, who sprays her enemies with a powerful blast of water, and the artifact Rengar's Special Drink, which causes additional damage when attacking all enemies. Please note the drop rate up applies during the event period only. Players are able to use both the limited drop rate up banner as well as regular Covenant summons. The 5-star hero Seaside Bellona and the artifact are both limited summons and will not be added into the Covenant summon after the event has ended. During the limited summon event, when using her banner, the drop rate is increased to 1%. No other 5-star heroes can be summoned. So, usual limited banner stuff. Hero and artifact may be sold in the same or similar fashion in the future. Just throwing that in there to cover their bases. Guaranteed summon system information. For this drop rate up banner only, the limited summon system in effect. When players summon during the banner, the summon counter will decrease by 1 for each summon that does not yield the banner hero, max of 120. The hero has not been summoned after the listed number of summons. The next summon is 100% guaranteed to be the banner hero. Summoning the hero and the banner will result in the guaranteed summon counter being reset. So again, normal limited banner mechanics. Side story, Song of the Sea ending. So the rest of this is opening up. Corinne was busy maintaining order in Rengar amidst an influx of summer visitors when she suddenly collapsed due to exhaustion. The Phantom CIC sent Sez, Rin, and Bellona to help Corinne. Next day, Corinne and Sez, while on coast patrol, happened to rescue a fisherman who was overpowered by the waves. This brings Corinne and the Phantom CIC for an unforgettable summer. Week 2 and 3 of the special side story has begun. So, blah blah blah. treasure chests and goblin gates that appear in the side story will not contain event currency. Achievements and summer paths provide the same rewards as the exchange. Normal difficulty and higher players have the chance to receive the Catalyst Fuse Nerve. Exploration stages. There's a chance for players to receive dead coral colonies on those particular stages, whatever those are for. They contain multiple difficulties, higher difficulty, blah blah blah. So this is the coral thing. Item is required to complete certain achievements. Okay. In order to proceed to stage 18, players will need to clear 100 monsters located at stage 17S1. In order to open other locked stages, players need to complete necessary requirements. 17S1 is a defense stage that consists of easy, normal, hard, and hell difficulties. Higher difficulties beat the lower ones. Epic Hell Stage 18S can be entered after clearing the final stage, as well as clearing the necessary hidden achievements. Difficulty of the stage is very high and may only be cleared once. I have to say the difficulty of the first Epic Hell stage was not very high at all. That was incredibly easy. And number 5, Ottoman Tower improvements. The accessories granted by successfully clearing certain stages of the tower have been improved. I hope they've been improved by a lot, because they were complete garbage before. So the accessories granted to players for clearing floors 65 and higher have been increased. So at floors 65, 75, 85, and 95, each grant some kind of accessory that can have one of multiple sets. They have a set main stat. They're all epic. 4 substats will be randomly assigned upon receiving the accessory. And they go up to, so you get 2 at level 65 and 2 that are level 78. The levels would be, I think, a little bit better. I don't think that's good enough, though. What they need to do with these, if they want to give us accessories as rewards from the tower that are gonna like roll randomly between, you know, a couple stats and then have totally random substats, they really need to make it so that the substats can't roll flat stats. Because if you roll flat stats, it's a piece of garbage. You know, you either sell it for the money or you use it to upgrade something else. Just immediately get rid of it. So it'd be really nice if they would actually do something to make sure that they're at least guaranteed to be somewhat decent. Anyways, so that's the bottom of this. We also have some other stuff. Summon system improvements notice. There we go. Okay, first of all, please let us offer our utmost gratitude to our heirs for their varied opinions on how to improve the summoning system. This improvement plan was created after reading the various opinions of our heirs cultivated through multiple channels. We promise to listen to our heirs' suggestions as best as we can. Now we would like to take the time to explain the improvements to the summoning system that many of our heirs were curious about. To begin, we would like to speak about the new rates that will be implemented in Covenant Summon and other improvements, which will occur on August 8th. Okay? Even though Epic 7 is a hero collecting game, we've noticed that some players have experienced stress due to the fact that they could not receive the hero that they wanted. I mean, if you ask me, if you're going to play a gacha game and then get mad that you can't get a particular hero that you really want and go and complain about it, you shouldn't be playing gacha games. Seriously. Anyways. In response to this, Epic 7 has decided to introduce a supplementary system which should improve the ability for players to receive their desired hero. First, a limited summon system will be implemented for drop rate up banners on both existing and new heroes. The summon rate will be increased to 1% for the target hero, and no other 5-star heroes may be summoned on this banner. If the player does not receive the target hero with 120 summons, then on the 121st, be granted and receive the target hero. He'll be guaranteed to receive the target hero. So are they saying they're applying the limited summon rules to every banner? Is that what they're saying? Additionally, when performing Covenant summons, players will now have a 5% chance to receive a Moonlight Hero. This change allows for players to have an additional chance to receive Moonlight Hero while also maintaining their rarity compared to regular heroes. With the addition of Moonlight Heroes, the probability of receiving a 3-star artifact has been decreased, and the overall probability of receiving a hero is now greater than the probability of receiving an artifact. The Moonlight Heroes that would be obtainable in Covenant Summon includes all 3 to 5-star Moonlight Heroes. Also, when a new Moonlight Hero is introduced, they will be immediately placed in the Covenant Summon as soon as they are released. Please note that the only probability that has changed was the reduction to the probability to receive 3-star artifact, and all other percentages are the same as before. So they're dropping 3-star artifacts by 5% and throwing that at the Moonlight Heroes that they've now added, which of course, 3 stars are way higher than 4 and 5 stars. But that's fine, whatever. Honestly, I'm mostly just glad about these numbers up here. I've always hated that you had a greater chance to summon artifacts than heroes. And like summoning a 3-star artifact is just the worst thing ever. So like just these changes in percents here, I love. Adding Moonlight Heroes to Covenant Summon, I honestly don't know how I feel about it. Anyway, as before, players will be able to receive mileage on their Covenant Summon, as well as on their drop rate up summons, and will still be able to receive gold transmit stones. Alright? I feel like there was rumors going around that they were going to remove that. But it's sticking around. And additionally, players will still be able to purchase 4 to 5-star hero tickets or galaxy bookmarks, so they still have a higher probability of receiving high-grade Moonlight Hero. The second change we would like to speak about are the improvements to the Mystic Summons, which will also be implemented on August 8th. Mystic Summons are a new type of summon which gives players, well, I mean, they're not really new anymore, but anyways, it gives players a high chance to obtain newly released Moonlight Heroes and has a summoning list which changes weekly. However, there's a large issue when players are not able to receive a Moonlight Hero before the period has ended. In order to make improvements, we plan to introduce limited summons for Mystic Summons as well. If a player does not receive a 5-star Moonlight Hero within 200 summons, then on the 201st, they'll be guaranteed to receive the featured 5-star Moonlight Hero. The guaranteed summon counter will not be reset if the Moonlight Hero list is reset. Okay, good, because I was about to ask that. So they're basically added, a pity summon to Mystic Summons. And you're guaranteed to get the featured 5-star Moonlight Hero. Specifically. Okay. Maybe with all these changes, I'll finally get a 5-star Moonlight. In addition, Mystic Summons will now include new Moonlight Heroes as well as the previously released 4 to 5-star Moonlight Heroes. Mystic Summons will be renewed with aforementioned 2 combinations at 4-week intervals. Other regular heroes and artifacts will be updated weekly. This allows players to have a chance to summon the Moonlight Heroes they want even after the Mystic Summon rotation is over. Okay, the new 5-star Moonlight Hero and previous 4-star Moonlight Hero combination will run for 4 weeks. The previous 5-star Moonlight Hero and new 4-star Moonlight Hero will run for 4 weeks. Regular heroes and artifacts will be renewed every week. So they're saying basically every month, either the 5-star or the 4-star Moonlight Hero will change. So one month the 5 stars change, and then the next month the 4-star change, and so on and so forth. Players will now be able to purchase 50 Mystic Medals from the secret shop in the lobby. Oh, really? which allows them to perform one summon. As mystic metals will be added to the secret shop, the chance of friendship bookmarks appearing has been reduced. Oh, nice. As the difficulty of acquiring the Moonlight Heroes has been reduced through the improvement of the summon system, we will investigate all materials that players use for Moonlight and Mystic summons and give each player a 50% refund for the in-game materials used on these summons. The 50% refund will apply to Galaxy bookmarks and Mystic medals used until 8/2. So that's August 2nd. And will be paid in batches after the August 8th update. We'll give you more details about the refund through a separate notice. I want more info on this refund. We hope that the improvements made to the summon system, our heirs will be able to meet the hero they want and have an even more enjoyable experience playing Epic 7. We will always listen to and consider the opinions of our heirs in order to make Epic 7 even better. So basically everyone's going to be getting a lot more 5 stars, because they're basically doing pity summons for everything now. Okay. Hopefully that will make everyone happy, but it probably won't. People are still going to complain. People always complain. Okay, so we also have Hero Balance and Future System Improvements Notice. Cooldown for Silverblade elements at skill meter fall was displayed incorrectly and has been fixed. There must have been a typo on this earlier. So, hello heirs, this is Epic 7. First and foremost, we would like to apologize to our heirs who have been waiting for the content of the conference that was held in Korea. Originally, we decided to give our players a summary of the conference, which was held in Korea. However, the summary of the conference was instead replaced with this notice, which includes the various changes that will occur after we took the time to listen and reflect upon the opinion of our heirs. Additionally, we would like to take this time to inform our players that the notice that many of you have been curious about will be divided into 2 separate posts. Based on the balance adjustments and skill policy of today's notice, Epic 7 will strive to be more careful and take a more cautious approach in the future. We know that many of our heirs have been waiting for details regarding our Moonlight Hero balance adjustments as well as our skill balance policy, and we would like to present this information down below. So number 1, Arena Season 3 balance adjustments, Moonlight Hero balance adjustment information. The Epic 7 development team agrees that the ability level between certain Moonlight Heroes and regular heroes in the arena is too large. Additionally, we are making every effort possible to create a PvP environment that doesn't force players to rely too heavily on specific heroes. This notice contains information which many of our heirs gave their opinions and is something that we think our players have a great interest in. We'd also like to inform our players about the Moonlight Hero balance adjustments. The purpose of these balance adjustments is to correct the over-effectiveness of certain heroes while at the same time maintaining the unique identity of each hero. Please see below for details about these balance adjustments. Additionally, we hope that our heirs will give us their opinion on these balance adjustments. So first up, Silverblade Araminta, which I have been seeing a lot of people saying that she does not need to be nerfed. Like ever since they first announced, when they listed off like a bunch of heroes they were about to nerf, like last week or whenever it was, just constant people saying Silverblade Araminta does not need to be nerfed. And I disagree with that. I think anyone that has an AoE 100% chance to stun all enemies is insane. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't care if immunity sets exist and people always say, oh, you can counter it with this and that and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Every hero has counters. Okay? And just because a hero has counters doesn't mean they're not overpowered and unfair. And so I wholeheartedly believe that Silverblade Araminta does in fact need to be nerfed. But anyways, let's look at these changes. So, let's look at Flame Release. Before activates Flame Release if the enemy is burned after using Flame Friction. So is this her passive skill 2 thing? Flame Release attacks all enemies with fire, increasing the caster's combat readiness by 30%. So now, Flame Release activates Flame Release if the enemy is burned after using Flame Affliction. Flame Release attacks all enemies with... So basically, 10% less readiness out of that. And her skill 3, Meteor Fall, which drops a giant meteor to stun all enemies for 1 turn with a up to 50% chance each for 3 burn effects for 2 turns. The 4-turn cooldown. So now it drops a giant meteor to stun all enemies. The chance to inflict 2 burn effects. So it has 1 more cooldown and applies 1 less burn effect. But they kept the worst part of it. It still stuns all enemies for 1 turn. It's still a guaranteed AoE stun on all enemies. This is the problem with Silverblade Araminta. You can't have a character that just completely immobilizes the entire enemy team with 1 move. And they didn't even touch that aspect of her. Silverblade Araminta was able to inflict large damage to all enemies in addition to the crowd control effect of Meteor Fall and Flame Release. Add to this adjustment, the burn effect of Meteor Fall, which was more powerful than other AoE skills, will be reduced in strength, followed by an additional adjustment of the cooldown. Also, the amount of combat readiness that the caster is granted by Flame Release will be decreased to make her less advantageous in long battles. You know what, whatever. Let's just move on. So Sage Bellona Sazan, who honestly I haven't even really paid too much of attention to his skills. I think I know how they work off the top of my head. But anyways, let's look at this. So Cloud of Ruin, I don't even know what skill this is. Attacks all enemies, summoning storm clouds with a up to 100% chance to dispel 2 buffs and a chance to put them to sleep. Okay, so this is his skill 2, I think. If this skill is available, increases the caster's combat readiness by up to 25% at the end of the enemy's turn. Cooldown of 3 turns. So now attacks all enemies by summoning storm clouds with 85% up to 100% maximum chance to dispel 1 buff. So it can only dispel 1 buff now, which is that really even that big of a deal? You still strip your immunity with this. And with the same chance to put them to sleep, the skill is available, increases caster's combat readiness by 10%. So it has 5% less combat readiness gain, 1 turn longer cooldown, and dispels 1 less buff, which probably won't even matter. And that's it. That's all they're doing to Sage Ball. That's it. I feel like this isn't even going to do anything to him. You can still just go first, strip your immunity, put you to sleep, and rape your whole team. Or his allies will do that afterwards. Sage Bellona Sazan is a hero who specializes in impeding the enemy's turn and was extremely hard to counter when assigned to a defensive team. To adjust this hero, the buff dispel effect of Cloud of Ruin will be reduced to weaken the ability, which allowed him to counter the immune effect. How exactly? If you start the fight with an immunity buff, that's the only buff you have. Taking him from a 2 buff strip to a 1 buff strip does nothing to change that. Anyways, followed by an adjustment that involves reducing his combat readiness and increasing his cooldown to reduce the advantage of Sage Ball had after his initial turn. I mean, the problem is his initial turn. They just keep like nerfing people for the long term, but typically when you run into these heroes, if they win the fight for their team, they do it on their first turn. At least that's been my experience. If I lose to these characters, I lose on the first turn. If they don't destroy me on the first turn, then I win. Anyways, Arbiter Vildred, the hero they overbuffed. So Dark Contract before, after receiving lethal damage, generates 70% health, up to 100% health. 100% readiness, increased attack, 2 turns, full focus, and resets cooldown of Dark Blade. Okay, so before reading what they changed this, what I hope they did, number 1, remove the attack buff. Number 2, bring him back with less health. So what did they actually do? So after receiving lethal damage, caster regenerates still to 100% health, 100% readiness, Full focus, reset. So they did remove the attack buff. Okay, that is what I wanted. Arbiter Vildred had an extremely difficult skill set to go against due to the fact that Dark Blade could be activated without fail. This made the arena overly simple for those who had Arbiter Vildred and greatly weakened the position of the heroes with low health. By removing Dark Contract's passive skill, which increases attack for 2 turns, an opponent battling Arbiter Vildred can now have more options to compose a team when facing him. And Crimson Armin, the only hero on this list I have. So what do they do? Please tell me they're only nerfing, no, they're nerfing 2 skills. I was hoping they'd only nerf her skill 2. Let's see what happens here. So, before, decreases damage received by crits by up to 30% for all allies, and is now decreased damage received up to 15%. So they halved the damage reduction. Okay. I'm fine with that. And Shield of the Holy Spirit covers all allies, granting immunity for 3 turns. Invincibility for 1 turn is now covers all allies. The Holy Spirit granting immunity for 2 turns, and invincibility for 1 turn. Okay, that's acceptable. I'll still use Crimson Armin after this for sure. I mean, a big factor of that is that like she's my only tank, but I think even if she weren't, I'd still use her. For me, the biggest thing here is the lowered immunity, because now what you could do before is you could burn her, or you could soul burn her skill 3, which lowers the cooldown of it. And you could basically keep immunity on your whole team, like, indefinitely. So you won't quite be able to do that anymore. Which is more of a PvE nerf for Armin. But I'm fine with these changes. They didn't nerf her so much that I'd stop using her. That's all I wanted. So Crimson Armin's skill, Shield of the Holy Spirit, provided all allies with invincibility and immunity buffs, which prevented damage and stopped the enemy from inflicting debuffs. Additionally, her passive skill was considered a problem, as it had a large impact on the team's health. The skill has an impact on all heroes, but it especially had an impact on defensive heroes in dragged-out battles. Crimson Armin is still a powerful hero after being adjusted, however, there is now room for other defensive heroes to be selected for Arena. The adjustments to these 4-star Moonlight heroes and balance adjustment for Arena Season 3 will be completed on Thursday, September 5th. Wait, the adjustments of these 4-star Moonlight heroes and other balance adjustments for Arena Season 3 will be completed on September 5th? Wait, they're saying these balance changes are only going to happen on September 5th? Like, that's a whole month away. 'Cause today's the last day of July, right? So we're about to start August? I don't know why they're not going to make these changes until, I guess, to time it with the reasons Arena Season 3 starting, but whatever. Like, if you're going to make balance changes, just make them. Like, don't put them off for PvP. Who cares? I mean, I don't. There are probably people out there who do care about Arena. I personally don't care about it at all. And if you're going to make changes, I'd rather just see them do them immediately. If you already have them planned out. Anyways. So, next thing. Moonlight Hero Recall Policy for Adjusted Heroes Information. This is to inform our players about the Moonlight Hero Recall Policy, which will be applied to Moonlight Heroes that are being adjusted prior to the start of Season 3 of the Arena. This recall method is only applicable to Moonlight Heroes whose performance has been reduced due to the balance adjustments. When a Moonlight Hero is recalled, it will be possible to exchange the adjusted hero with a new Moonlight Hero of the same level. But the same level, I assume they mean like star level. During the recall period. Additionally, if the Moonlight Hero that is being recalled has been memory imprinted, players will receive unknown slate equal to the number of memory imprints that the adjusted hero had. For example, if a player is recalling a 4-star Moonlight Hero, they will be given a Meteor Shard, tentative name, equal to memory imprint level, which will act as an unknown slate for 4-star heroes that can only be used on 4-star heroes. The Moonlight Hero recall period is scheduled to last 2 weeks, starting on September 5th and continue to September 18th. Only heroes that have been acquired prior to the 5th are eligible to be recalled. Additionally, players may only recall each hero once during the recall period. Additionally, when restoring Moonlight heroes, if you wish to receive the hero instead of an unknown slate, please send us a request to customer service without using the unknown slate. Upon submitting the application to review the player's logs and send the hero... Upon submitting the application, we will review the player logs and send the hero instead of the unknown slate. Heroes achieved in this way cannot be exchanged. So... can recall them, and it will be possible to exchange the hero for a new Moonlight hero. This I never agreed with. I honestly don't understand their logic behind this, letting people trade in their hero for one of their choosing just because they got nerfed. This doesn't make any sense to me. This seems like the dumbest possible thing. Like, why in the world would you allow people to just exchange a hero for one of their choosing just because it got nerfed? That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I feel like all you're doing is rewarding the lucky crybabies, the ones who are lucky enough to get an ML5 and then cry about them when they get nerfed. Like, you're rewarding these people. Whatever. Yeah, I read that. Okay. So next thing. Adjusting balance of the Arena Season 3 balance changes for heroes. For Arena Season 3, we're planning large-scale changes not only for Moonlight heroes, but also for other heroes that have been underperforming. We hope that heroes will be chosen based on the strategy needed for current situation. The information below contains the adjustment that will occur to heroes prior to the start of Arena Season 3 changes. So we have Bazaar, Euphine, Lilibet, Lidica, Assassin Coley. Didn't they mention they were going to buff Lulu? Or did I just misread Luluka's Lilica? No, I could have sworn they were planning a change for Luluka that was going to add like a defense down to her skill 1, and it was going to change her the ramp up on her skill 3. But Luluka's not listed here. Are they still doing that? So anyway, so Bazaar was designed to be useful when used against a party with many buffs. Since Bazaar's skill, Sandstorm, dispels enemy buffs and makes them unable to be buffed. However, the skill Sand Wind, which transfers debuffs from the caster to the enemy, and the skill Hurricane, which decreases the hit chance of the opponent, were difficult to utilize for containment purposes. Therefore, by reinforcing containment factors of Hurricane and Sand Wind, Bazaar's ability to contain the opponent will be improved. What the heck does any of that even mean? So, Euphine displays outstanding power in attacking a single opponent with Dragon's Charge, high damage output, but Dragon's Roar skill had problems as it dealt low amount of damage and had ineffective effect, resulting in Euphine's low usage by players. By balancing Dragon's Roar skill, the damage gap between it and her skill Dragon Charge will be reduced. So they're basically saying they're going to buff Dragon's Roar. That's her skill 2, the AoE buff stripping thing. So Lilibet Soul Cutter has the Extinction effect, which matches well with her Soul Burn, but because her ability is too focused on the Extinction effect, it was difficult to use her in other situations. Lilibet's overall ability will be buffed so that she can be beneficial in various situations. Again, they're not saying anything, that they're not making it clear at all what they're going to be doing to her. They're just saying, yeah, we're going to buff her to be better overall, okay? Like, what exactly are you going to do? Lidica, who I don't think needs a buff, but anyways, Lidica is highly effective when attacking a single opponent or in golem hunts, but her overall ability is greatly focused on individual containment, so she is not widely used in the arena. By improving her general skill ability, she will be more effective in containing her enemies. Again, this basically says nothing. Assassin Coley. So Assassin Coley is strategically useful since she has high speed and her passive skill Cloak and Dagger has a chance to increase attack, while her skill Murder has containment effects. And what is with this wording all of a sudden? They keep using containment effects. What does containment effects even mean? However, because there isn't any additional effect following the skill, Ambush, she wasn't as beneficial after her first turn. By improving her basic skill, she'll be useful even after using her skill Murder. So what, they're going to buff her skill 1? We believe the key fun factor in Epic 7 is the back and forth battling of heroes with different elements. This is why we are trying to revive the fun that comes from both the combining heroes of different elements into a single team and the uniqueness of each hero. Thus, we are also considering improvements that can be made on highly ineffective 3-star Moonlight heroes, as we mentioned above. The adjustments will be made on Thursday, September 5th, and notify our players of details in August. So I guess they'll give us actual information on these balance changes later. Arisen Season 3 postponement notice. In our previous announcement, we had stated that the start of Arisen Season 3 would begin on August 12th. However, we are trying to diversify the arena meta with the Arena Season 3 balance adjustment. Due to this, we have decided that it would be dangerous to have such balance adjustments occur during the middle of the season, so we've decided to postpone the opening of the season. That doesn't make any sense at all. It would be dangerous to have such balance changes occur in the middle of a season. Okay, that makes sense. So we decided to postpone the opening of the next arena season. That doesn't make sense. If anything, you should bring it sooner because you don't want to make changes in the middle of the current season. So the solution is to bring the next season sooner so you can make those changes sooner. Pushing the next season further back does the opposite. Like, what? The Arena Season 3 balance adjustments are scheduled to begin on September 5th, and the start of the Arena Season 3 is scheduled to begin on Monday, September 9th. We apologize for any inconvenience that may be caused by this change, as the opening for Arena Season 3 has been postponed, and the pre-season period has been extended. An additional unknown slate will be added to the store and can be purchased with conquest points until the start of Arena Season. An additional unknown slate is being added to the store? Okay. Additionally, during this pre-season, the unknown slate is scheduled to be sold at a discounted price. Alright. I'll take that. Skills bug fixes. When fixing skill-related bugs, the developers normally refer to a hero's skill description. Skill descriptions are like a manual for each hero's skill and contains different information that allows us to estimate the performance of different heroes. Every hero and monster has a skill description, however there are some problems in applying a strict standard for the information that is placed in these skill descriptions. From now on, we are going to apply a stricter standard for what should be placed into the skill descriptions to prevent issues from occurring in the future. The standard will be explained in more detail down below, okay? First of all, we will try to remove ambiguity from our skill descriptions. That sounds good. Currently, some of the skill descriptions for some heroes, monsters, and artifacts aren't clear enough when explaining how they work. An example of such ambiguity can be seen in regards to skill activation timing, as well as the omission of percentages when describing an effect's chance of occurring. We will adjust these skill descriptions in October to make the information more clear and intuitive. Alright, so that's months away. Additionally, when fixing bugs, we will thoroughly review things that might have an impact on the balance of the game in order to prevent any problems from occurring. However, if any issue does arise, we will post a notice as quickly as possible to ensure that our heirs are aware of any issues. Estimated dates of repair as well as plans for repair will be shared in the notice. And if a balance adjustment cannot be avoided, we promise to find the best way possible to compensate our players for any loss they may experience. Secondly, we would like to discuss our policy in regards to bug fixes. We will strengthen our line of communication to communities from all over the world in order to handle any bug reports. However, we kindly ask for your understanding, since it might take some time to deal with certain kinds of bugs. In certain situations, we will share the details of these bugs and the solutions via our known issues post on the official Stowe forum. Okay. Battle system improvements. This section will discuss the display of skill multipliers in-game. Oh, that'll be nice. Many of our heirs expressed their opinions about... One of the key points that makes Epic 7 fun is the ability to select a variety of heroes to create a unique team, each of which can utilize a different strategy. If a player can view a skill multiplier in-game, they may not take into account the synergy one hero has with another, and they may ignore the team composition of the enemy, and cause players to only focus on heroes with higher skill multipliers, especially in the early game. Therefore, we are not currently planning to display these numbers in-game. However, more detailed information will display when buff and debuff effects are activated, and we will enable players to research more in-depth in regards to team composition. These improvements are scheduled to be implemented in the August update. So they basically say, oh, we will discuss skill multipliers and we're not going to actually make them visible in the game. I don't know why they even bothered to mention them if they were just going to say they're not doing anything with them. Anyways, the next part we'd like to address are the various help topics that are in battle. Epic 7 employs a combination of systems which are not clearly understandable at a glance within the battle screen. To correct the issue, we will improve our game tips so that we can answer some questions that may arise while playing our game. This is scheduled to occur in September. Finally, we would like to discuss artifact and passive skills texts, which are not displayed in battle or may not be displayed clearly. There are many important artifacts and passive skills in combat, but some effects may not display the text correctly, making them inconvenient to use. By creating a more organized standard for when text displays after an artifact or passive skill condition has been fulfilled, the inconvenience that some players may have felt will be reduced. This change is scheduled to occur in August. Okay. Balancing quality improvements. In order to solve certain balance issues that have arisen in Epic 7, we have recruited additional people whose main purpose is to focus on hero balance. We have also hired additional people who will focus on hero design, as well as improving our process to improve initial hero quality. Additionally, the developer and publisher are also exchanging more opinions during the scheduling, so that we will have more time for our verification process, which will ensure better quality. We are also reflecting on the opinions and suggestions made by our heirs as well. Next, we would like to explain the process behind our normal balance adjustment, which is performed at regular intervals. The developers are constantly monitoring competitive content such as Arena and Guild Wars, along with hunts and various farming content. The targets of such balance adjustments are therefore selected when certain heroes or artifacts have a large impact on the meta or cause the gameplay to become stale. However, some issues relating to the balancing have occurred, and we will analyze our data in greater detail. In particular, we will be more careful in regards to adding new effects to the game and predicting how they will interact with effects that have already been implemented. Okay. And the last bit, memory imprint improvements. Finally, we would like to let you know about the purpose and direction of the improvements that will be made to memory imprint effects. These changes are currently scheduled for October. Memory imprint is one of the factors that determines... where was I at? Memory imprint is one of the factors that determines a hero's balance. However, its effect influences the team and not the memory imprinted hero. In certain situations it has a powerful effect, but depending on the team composition and equipment, certain effects are significantly underutilized. In summary, unlike other balance elements that can be adjusted according to an individual hero, memory imprint has a significant impact on the setting of an entire team depending on an heir situation. Therefore, we need to approach the balancing of party effects very carefully. To make Memory Imprint a unique power to the hero, we will make changes so that the player can either choose to keep the devotion skill applied on team members or choose to have this effect applied to the memory imprinted hero directly. This personal memory imprint may not be as efficient as the one that is applied to all party members, but it will allow players to choose unique effects that will only apply to the memory imprinted hero. Players will have full choice to choose which one to use, either between party member imprint or in self-memory imprint, to further enhance the uniqueness of each hero. Some of them may enhance skill effects, not just increase stats. So this sounds nice. I will very much be looking forward to this. In particular, my Tenebria and Assassin Coley both have critical hit imprints and are not at 100% crit chance. So if they could apply their imprints to themselves, I will take that. Just to give them that extra boost they need to reach 100%. The ultimate goal of Epic 7's balance is to allow our heirs to enjoy playing Epic 7 in a more enjoyable environment while maintaining the basic value of the game. We hope that our heirs will continue to show interest in Epic 7 and give us a lot of feedback on battle balance improvements. In addition, we promise to improve the game environment through periodic balance adjustments, and we will do our best to ensure that players can experience enjoyable battles with various heroes. Lastly, we would like to apologize for any inconvenience caused while playing Epic 7 due to balance issues and unclear or insufficient game information. We'll do our best to make Epic 7 more enjoyable. Alright, I believe that's everything for this week. So these extra notice things aren't even really patch notes for this week. It's more stuff they're letting us know like far in advance. A lot of this stuff's coming in like August and whatnot. So as far as this week's actual patch notes go, so we have Seaside Bellona, still have this black box or whatever this is supposed to be. She's coming out. I'm going to be summoning for her. So she's a limited banner. They're opening up the rest of the event. Blah, 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 blah. And they're going to slightly improve the accessories in the tower, which I think they need to do more than this. But whatever. I think the tower, just in general, needs to give much better rewards than it does, especially if they're going to make it as hard as it was. I'm also curious to see. I'm really curious to see if they're going to do that again, and them nerfing the tower in the last week is going to kind of just become like the norm, where they release the tower initially very difficult, and then in the last week they nerf it so everyone can beat it. I don't know if that's what they're going to keep doing, so we'll have to see. But if they are going to do that, I really want them to improve the rewards, all of the rewards, not just the accessories. Improve them a lot to make them worth, especially in the last 10 floors that are each like individually very challenging stages. You should not be doing one of these floors and getting like 30k gold. That is not worth the effort it takes to beat that stage at all. Not by a long shot. And the rewards for the entire tower were terrible. Like, there are single floors in Abyss that alone give better rewards than the entirety of the Automaton Tower. So I'd really like to see them improve the rewards for the tower. But anyways, that's it for this week. So I will see you later.